are making medieval apple cakes from the Fire and Ice recipe book of Game of Thrones. The ingredients you'll need are milk, dry yeast, eggs, flour, salt, unsalted butter, 4 apples, honey, Pudre, Forte, ground cinnamon, chopped nuts, frying oil, and powdered sugar. Pudre and Forte is a spice mixture that was used in the Middle Ages. We will be creating the spice mix before baking the apple cakes. The ingredients are black pepper, cinnamon, ground mace, ground ginger, ground cloves, and long pepper. The long pepper I literally could not find anywhere, so I didn't add it into the mixture. It is your choice if you like to look for it in your local stores. In a small container, take 1 teaspoon of ground pepper, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon ground mace, 1 teaspoon ground ginger, 1 teaspoon ground cloves, and 1 teaspoon long pepper. Then take your container and mix the spices. In a bowl, warm up 1 1/4 cups of milk, just enough to be warm to the touch, and then add 2 1/4 teaspoons of dry yeast, which should be 1 packet. Mix it well and then let it sit for 5 minutes until the yeast has foamed. Five minutes of the yeast foaming, add 2 beaten egg yolks, 3 cups of flour, a pinch of salt, and 4 tablespoons or 1/2 stick of unsalted softened butter. Mix by hand until the dough pulls away from the side of the bowl, adding extra flour if needed. Take some flour and place it on a clean surface, and turn the dough out on the surface, kneading it for several minutes. After several minutes pass, gather the dough back into a lump and allow the dough to rise under a clean dishcloth for around an hour. Take 4 medium-sized apples, peel, core, and dice them. Next, take a 1/2 cup of nuts. We used pine nuts and chop them up finely. You can use a knife for this, but we used a mixture. It was faster and easier for us to get the finest we wanted it to be. In a medium saucepan, combine the apple cubes, 4 tablespoons of honey, 1 tablespoon of Pudre, Forte, which I forgot to film, so sorry about that, 1/2 cup of chopped nuts. Again, we used pine nuts, but you can use, I think, any nuts you want. I think that's what the book says. Cook together in a medium-low heat until the honey has been absorbed into the apples and other materials. After this, set aside and allow to cool slightly. On a floured countertop, roll out the dough until it's about 1/4 inch thickness. The book calls for a 2-inch round cutter, but I didn't have that exact shape, so we used something a little bit different. Stamp out the discs until you have all the dough done. Use a pastry brush or your fingers to wet each disc with water. On half of the disc, place about 1 teaspoon of filling, then place another disc on top of it, pinching the sides together until they are firmly sealed. After all the discs are done, allow them to rise for around 20 minutes. Heat 1 inch of oil in a pan over a medium-high heat. Gently lower each cake into the hot oil. Fry until the dough is golden on both sides. It shouldn't take too long. Drain on paper towels and sprinkle with a little bit of powdered sugar. And then you're all done. Enjoy. For more Game of Thrones recipes, like, comment, and subscribe, and they'll come up eventually.